Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show, How to Save Rock. It's a mid-rock crisis, and I'm your host, East Coast Pete. Django Reinhardt. I mentioned him many times on my show as he has influenced many, if not all, the guitarists I've chosen to include. Reinhardt's influence extends far beyond that, and it may be immeasurable. Born Jean Reinhardt in Belgium, Django was a nickname. He spent his youth in Romani encampments where he learned to play folk violin, guitar, and banjo. He was able to earn a living at age 15 playing his banjo guitar. It's like a banjo with six strings tuned like a guitar. He did not read music, didn't read words either. He was illiterate, so he improvised. He's known as one of the greatest musicians of the 20th century and the first to feature guitar as a lead instrument. First. He's the first European jazzman to achieve international status. He first recorded in 1928 at the age of 18. British band leader Jack Hilton heard him and offered him a job which he accepted. Before he could join that band, he was badly burned in a fire that consumed his wagon. He and his wife escaped, but Django sustained burns to 50% of his body. The doctors wanted to amputate his leg, but he refused. His left hand was badly burned, and he lost the full use of his ring finger. He couldn't really play his instrument, so he had to invent a new fretting style using his thumb and middle and index fingers. At this time, he became aware of American jazz, specifically Duke Ellington and Louis Armstrong. He saw this music as his future. Django met and befriended violinist Stefan Grappelli, and they saw they had a musical simpatico. Django procured his first Selmer guitar, and the two played together from 1934 to 1939, becoming Europe's foremost jazz artists. But then World War II got in the way of all that. Nazis didn't like jazz, and they didn't like gypsies. 600,000 or more were genocided, and 1 million more were incarcerated. This might have been Django's fate, if not for the chance meeting with the German jazz fan. He continued to play in France, and he became a national symbol of hope during the occupation. Django survived the war, but his worldview had been altered. He now wanted to become literate. He played in the U.S. for the first time as a member of Duke Ellington's big band. He also played an electric guitar for the first time, but he claimed it hampered his delicacy of expression. He returned to France in 1947, but he had difficulty readjusting to post-war life. Scheduled to play, sometimes he wouldn't show up. Fortunately, Stefan Grappelli came back into his life, and they picked up where they'd left off. In 1951, Django retired from playing. In less than 2 years, he died suddenly of a cerebral hemorrhage. The Allman Brothers' song Jessica was composed as a tribute to Django. Sweet and Low Down, a Woody Allen 1999 film, was based on Reinhardt's life and his music. Charlie Bird and Wes Montgomery point to Django as a huge influence, as did Jeff Beck. Jerry Garcia and Tony Iommi, who both also lost fingers accidentally, both saw Django as an inspiration. Django recorded over 900 sides. That's how records were referred to during the days of 78 RPM, sides. His music has been chronicled and covered so much that summing his output up here wouldn't begin to describe his work. CDs and other electronic data files are available as public domain. There's almost no live footage of his concerts. It was a long time ago. He was fast as a metal speed guitarist, but each note had heart and purpose. His music often sounds like it harkens back to a more carefree time, but his life and career were anything but. Django Reinhardt. What a amazing story for you musicologists. So much to learn from. Period of time. Did it really seem easier and more easygoing or more romantic? I'm not sure. The two world wars were pretty chaotic, if you ask me. It's not like I was there, folks. I wasn't. My father was. He never saw action in Europe, but he worked with code breakers. I just kind of get lost in the sound of Django's playing. It's so beautiful. It just comes right out of his heart. So much to learn for a guitarist here, don't you think? Well, anyway, thanks for being with me on my show, How to Save Rock. It's a mid-rock crisis with East Coast Pete. Please hit subscribe. You have no idea how much help it would be for me for you to do so. And hit like if you like it. You know the routine. See you next time.